Hey guys, Psycrafter here. Today I am back with Bailey for another episode of Anime First Reality. This is episode number 155, and we're hoping to finish your line April today. Uh, Before we get into the notes, what did you think of the ending, Bailey?
I'm glad it happened. You know who? You know what I mean?
You monster! You're an absolute monster.
What the heck is it?
Look at the psychopath over there. I mean, yeah, it's not really that wrong, is it?
Finally, there it is.
You finally got the notes up?
Yeah, I got the notes out. 12, was it?
Episode 12. And we're starting off with some school holidays. And Sabaki goes to some school. And in class, she hears Kosei and Kaori doing their practice for the gala. After one particular practice, Kaori pegs Kosei in the back of the head with a bottle of oolong tea. I slowed down the frames to know what type of tea it was. But I'm getting distracted like Kosei was. Kosei still wants to go with something major for the gala, but Kaori has her heart set on Love Sorrow, knowing that if they play it, it will sound glamorous enough for the gala. She wonders why Kosei is so reluctant to play the piece when it's overflowing with love for him. So, back at Kosei's house, he finds a copy of the piano version for Love Sorrow, wondering why it's there. It's like, I think it's like misplaced or something. And staring at the score, Kosei remembers when Saki once found him sleeping under the piano before she comes sick. That reminds him of his inability to hear the piano. School ultimately reminds him of Saki, what he said to her that day, and how she didn't like his playing because it wasn't perfect to her. The whole cane beat, like the beating with the cane. Oh,
Yeah,
this anime does really hold its hits,
it,
doesn't it?
it goes places.
Huh?
It goes places.
Including death. You want to take the next point?
Where was it? Um, it, uh,
There.
Kusai is surprised by Hiroko and Kaharu visiting and dragging him out to the nearby festival. In a hidden part of the festival, it's revealed that Saki used to play Love Story as a lullaby for Kusai.
Okay,
He
say.
asks Hiroku Kosei. He
Just call him
asks
K.
Hiroku yeah, okay. Okay. He asks Hiroko if his own mum despised him, but according to her, no mother can despise their own child, and the day Kei lashed out probably secretly made Saki happy. Asking if it's is it Saki or Sakai?
Saki.
Saki,
You're
yeah.
saying it correct.
Alright. Asking if it's okay to play the piano, Hiroko responds that if something is holding him back, then to play with conviction and listen. What have I done? And listen to Saki's voice. Hold on, I've just pressed
What
button on
happened?
the. I pressed the button. It scrolled me up to the top. Um,
Well done.
asking and listen to Saki's voice. Hiroko's reasoning to see Kei play is so that he can properly say goodbye to Saki. On August 24th, Kei and Kaori practiced late into the night, mainly due to Kei complaining about performing the piece and Kaori's insistence on practice. Kaori's focus shifts to the night sky and they both start singing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star in English. As
Uh,
Kei drops Kaori off to her home, he's confronted by her parents inviting him to eat a bunch of cakes and tell him off for aborting his last performance. Is that really the word you want to use?
I I was thinking of words. I was in the typing mode. I was in the note
Well,
taking
I got a
mode.
I got with me a book in 500 beautiful words. We got we got expostulate,
Oh, trust me, there are worse words I could
Confucian,
say that I know, but they're very
sanctimonious,
particular situations.
capitulate,
Hmm?
is monastic, nonpareil.
You know what the word for bundle of sticks is, right?
Ah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that word.
It also means smokes.
Yeah, but it's just funny. It's like,
Yeah.
I can, like, if it's situational, I could use that word, have Twitter get angry at me, and then just be like, look up the definition of this word.
It also is what you use to refer to a Harley bike rider.
A what?
Oh, South Park did that joke. It's like the word is now referring to a Harley bike rider.
No.
Yeah, yeah, it's a pretty good episode. Anyways, walking Kay out to the street, Kaori is embarrassed by the fact that he got to see pictures of her entire family, exclaiming she can't get married because she was naked in some of them. But as quick as a child fixating on different things, Kaori notices that Kay has gotten taller because he's not looking down all the time. The only reason Kaori likes summer is because of its fireworks.
Big
A
boom
couple
attracts all attention.
boom day. A couple days.
Can I just add something?
Yeah,
I actually learned how to sing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star in Japanese.
you learned to sing it.
Huh?
What'd you say that you learned to sing it?
Yeah, I learned it in Japanese.
That's good. Yeah, go on, sing for us.
I did that earlier before you got on.
All right. Well, if you're not gonna sing, I'll just take over.
Go on.
Are you going to or not?
I did it at the Stars stream. I don't want to
Okay,
really.
I'll have to make sure to look at the stream. I got Japanese friends, so she'll
No,
fact
don't
check
worry.
it.
I'll highlight it so that you can have it.
Okay. A
Twitter, you're
couple
gonna
days
get a
before.
highlighted clip, a highlight clip of
Okay.
that.
All right. A couple days before the performance, Kei and Kaori are still arguing over the piece, but more about how to play the piece than why they are playing the piece. Meanwhile, Tsubaki kicks Ryota square in the balls for eating her green tea and red bean shaped ice.
Ooh, ouch.
Overhearing, yeah, that damn Tsubaka. Overhearing Tsubaki's complaining about summer and the mention of fireworks, the five of them sneak onto school grounds at night and light up firecrackers.
But still,
Tsubaki,
just like kicking someone in the balls just for that, like
yeah,
it would hurt. Just being the recipient and the reciprocity, or whatever the word is. Because on one hand, you're gonna hurt your foot doing that,
yeah.
because you're basically kicking the area where it's the closest to bone.
Unless you got steel tap shoes.
Or you could go worse and go the secret agent route with the knife in the shoe.
Oh yeah, they did that in the
Ooh.
anime I watched once. And she goes
Yeah.
to kick him, and she's wearing heel. And it comes out of the heel, and it goes right in the nut.
there's I remember there's one that was like it was like a backwards kick right into the guy's nuts. Just like
They do it in wrestling, so
still shouldn't be kicking anyone in the balls. Really. Anyway, Sabaki complains about summer school again, which ends with Rota on the ground again after calling her a moron in pain. Like, dude's just taking it in the balls this episode.
The hits keep coming.
Well, the hits come, they don't stop coming. Now, if.
Shame he's not a rock star.
Huh?
Shame he's not a rock star.
Now, if Carrie and Kosei are going to music college, if they're not attending summer school. However, Carrie has not thought about her future, hiding it in focusing on the gala currently. Tsubaki gets upset at Kosei staring at Carrie and Rota, accidentally triggering the remaining fireworks, sending the two boys into the pool. It's just like, whoops. While in the pool, Kosei remembers what Hiroko told him at the festival, that he's not bound by auditory sounds anymore, that the images and sounds inside have been overriding him without realizing it. Hiroko sees the loss of hearing his notes. He hides a gift, not in seeing or hearing, but in feeling the music throughout his body. Despite waking up outside the pool and accidentally headbutting Rota. Rota's just the punching bag of the episode.
Yeah.
And Kosei is more focused on a way to perform better. I think it has something to do with the pool or the moon. It's like, how do you come up with that idea after getting wet?
Because, the moon controls the ocean's tide, and the ocean is made out of water, so
Yeah.
maybe you put two and two together.
The day of the gala, people are buzzing about the performance that's bound to happen with Kaori and Kosei. Annie has also come to see Kaori and Kosei perform, mainly for Kosei, and she's got a hoodie and sunnies on. Immediately recognized by her teacher, Yuriko. However, Kaori is running late for their performance, with Kosei referencing Arturo Banderi Michelani and Ivo Pogorevic.
Arturo Benedetti Michelangeli and Ivo Pogorelic.
Thank you. who have both suffered great illnesses, which is a very little touch of detail there, because of what we find out later. And there's also a cute detail of Kaharu mimicking Kosei's actions, because he's panicking, so she's panicking, because little kids always mimic the people around them. It's like when the child mimics the parent, sort of stuff. Anyway, Kaori's phone is currently still in her room at her house, so Hiroko asks Rota to keep trying, while she and Kosei try to get them moved down the order, so Kaori can actually make it to the performance. And begging staff to let Kaori and Kosei perform later, they run into the final act of the junior high division. Toshia Mike, but he wants the final performance for himself. Kosei respects his choice, but says the spotlight will belong to them for his bad mouthing of Kaori's music. Despite Kaori's absence from the gala, Kosei confidently takes the stage, ready to perform on his own if he has to. And sadly, we're gonna find out that he has to. We're in episode 13.
That brings us to the end of episode 12, I think.
Yep.
Let me go to 13. You alright?
Yeah, I'm just not well at the moment, so I'm so glad you're not here today.
I can feel it like you're passing it through the Wi-Fi.
You're passing it through the Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Okay,
Alright, so
fantastic.
I'll take over then for a bit.
Yeah.
Back when Saki was alive, she was playing Love Sorrow, but was interrupted by Hiroko wanting to play the piano in her own way. Out of nowhere, Kid K perfectly performs Hiroko's angry performance after hearing it once. Hiroko is excited that K can play so brilliantly at such a young age and told Saki all about it.
I'm pretty. I think he also was like repeating the lyrics as well.
Oh, what?
In the moment, I think he was also sort of repeating the lyrics as
Oh,
well.
repeating. I thought you said peeing. And I was
No, repeating, man, repeating.
like, alright, that's better. That's better. Alright, K is not changing the song from Love Sorrow even if he is playing it alone, saying that he's annoyed at Toshiya and that galas are all about standing out. He wants to show everyone that he's not just an
Accompanist.
accompanist anymore, but one of the best pianists out there. But that Kaori is also amazing. Hiroko realizes Kei has been facing love sorrow alone all this time, but is it the same version he knows?
Yeah, it's interesting.
While his performance is powerful to Yuriko, it's clear that Kei is just venting his anger and is grating her ears. Kei then realizes he's hitting the keys too hard, recalling the memory of when Saki played and taught him to play the piece. Recalling how Hiroko said that this playing could transcend hearing the notes, suddenly changing his playstyle, making Hiroko sense Saki present in the performance.
Yeah, as I should have said at the start, this is not an anime that we can really easily talk about. This is one you have to go and watch yourself for true appreciation of it. It's a really good anime. Like one of my two
Yeah.
favorites. Like if I had to give a score out of 10, I'm giving it a 10.
In the end, justice was served.
Oi, you gotta be like that. You can leave early.
Oh, well, we'll just wait till we get to the end and we'll let the fans decide what they think.
Hey,
Alright, she remembers
sorry.
Robitussin. She remembers the day of how Saki beat Kay to the point of blood and how she said she was running out of time. Followed by the day Kay's ability to hear the notes broke, where she
Comforted.
yeah, that should be comforted. I was like, what? Where she comforted Kay and apologized for what happened and Kay's return to the stage. Saki just hoped that Kay could make music his livelihood and earn a living from it. All she could do was make him play faithfully to the score. Turns out that Saki always played Love Sorrow to Kay so he could get used to sorrow in his life. With his final notes, he says goodbye to Saki, allowing her to leave and ends up transfixing the audience again with how beautiful the performance was.
And I will say right now, this, as much as with summarize as I summarized in like a few paragraphs here, the entire performance was like 4 minutes, I think, like most of the episode, at least, right?
Yeah,
So this anime does a good imagery with its music, and like the music lines up with the themes of the show. I think
I hear that.
if I remember correctly, someone actually took the notes that Kosei plays during performances to an actual piano and found that it was the right notes as well. So even
Yeah,
the
like they
animation is correct.
really.
Yeah.
I like attention to detail like that. Like
Yeah.
what they did with Initial D, where they hire stunt
Yeah, they
like
had a expert racer
that
that knew
that had the
drifting.
drag races. I was thinking stunt races. They had the drag racers give advice on what to do.
Well, it was more they explained what is possible and what could be possible, I guess, to make some of the stuff. Because, like, some of the stuff in Initial D wasn't that realistic, honestly.
Yeah,
But it's like, if you could do it, it could work. It's just not that realistic. Anyways, after the performance, Kosei leaves the stage and collapses to his knees from exhaustion, only to get headbutted in the stomach by Kaoru. Just like, that's one way to hug someone. Hiroko asks if Kosei got to see Saki one last time, but he says she has been alongside him all along. He asks if his performance reached Saki, and Hiroko says it clearly reached her, allowing Kosei to cry on her shoulder. And next to perform is Toshiya, and when he sees his mum praying for his performance, he tries putting his heart and soul into it, playing softer than usual. At the end of the gala, Emi tells Yuriko she's glad to be a musician, even if it's just to defeat Kosei at his best. Ryota and Tsubaki go to talk to Kosei and congratulate him on his performance, but Tsubaki stops short of reaching him, unable to find the words. Kosei calls her out on her silence, hoping she would praise him for his performance, which again catches Tsubaki off guard. It's like he's finally like, hey, I should be getting a bit of attention here, because getting attention is not a bad thing. Because when Kosei started out, he was not interested in the attention at all, but he's actually finally been like, hey, I want some attention. But Kosei returns to the music room, happy with himself, while Hiroko visits Yuriko's house to talk about the fact that she's mentoring Kosei. Such happiness can't last forever, though, as Tsubaki rushes to the music room with a message that sends Kosei running to Totsuhara University Hospital to see Kaori. Oh no! Now we're really getting into like the third act of this story, aren't we? You there, Bailey?
yeah, I'm here.
But yeah, we're really like getting into the third act of this now, aren't we?
So we're on 14 now.
Yes.
Alright, you want me to go or you keep going?
You can go for it.
Yeah, so I'll go for it. Life seems to go back to normal, students doing their own things, and Kei playing the piano in the music room, until he finds out from Tsubaki that Kaori collapsed and ended up in the hospital. Good, good.
Hey,
On another visit. Well, you know, she's an abuser. You've seen the way she treats him.
yes, she's a very land character though.
Yes, like a cake. Looks yummy and delicious, but ultimately is no good for you.
Wow.
On another visit to Kaori, Kei is joined by Ryota and Tsubaki, with Ryota bringing Kaori some cake. Hey, I was just talking about cake before. What are the odds? When questioned how she's doing, Kaori answers that she's just in for tests, but Kei is suspicious of Kaori having tests multiple days in such a short time. Kei focuses on Kaori's clothes and head, but Kaori misinterprets it as him lusting for her.
Uh,
Apparently, Kaori was stumbling at home and hit her head when she fell over, causing her head to spurt blood. As Kaori enjoys some cake, Ryota reveals he brought a bunch of books from the school library. Tsubaki asks if Kaori will be returning to school by the next term, which she answers she will. However, Kei feels that answer was rehearsed.
Also, when Kaori hit her head, did you notice something in the house?
Not like you did, because you're the one who pays attention to detail.
You didn't see the bars on like the walls?
No? Why?
Because that's what she hit her head on.
Oh, okay.
But there's a reason why those bars are there.
So she can't escape.
No, no, we're not talking bars on the window, man. We're talking like support bars.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense.
Yeah. So it's like if someone can't support their whole weight, they have the bar there to be able to do so.
Like people with a cane. Yeah. After they leave, Kaori's happy demeanor drops, saying she doesn't like that she doesn't have the time to read all the books Ryota brought her for her to read. But in the first book she finds that Kei had read the book. Then the nurse comes in and Kaori asks her to resume the IV drop she wanted to hide
The
from her
IV
friend.
drip.
Drip drop.
No,
It's a
it's
drip
actually
that
it is called an IV drip because it drip. It's like a drip feed.
yeah.
You can't
And
really
when it
call it a
drips,
drop,
it also drops.
but it's called an IV drip.
Ah, potato potato. The next day, Tsubaki gets a text from Saito wanting to go to a festival later today, Nao wonders why Tsubaki is still with Saito and brings up Kei, but Tsubaki still sees him as a brother and steals Nao's omelet when she says that Tsubaki doesn't want to destroy the current relationships between her friends.
She does it very aggressively as well. She's just like, she's
At the
like,
festival, At the festival, Tsubaki meets up with Saito, but all she can think about is what now. Is it Nao or now?
I've been saying now. It might
It's
be
what, sorry?
now though.
Like, short for Naomi?
Yeah, well, you can go with that if you want.
No.
I'm pretty sure it's pronounced now in the anime though.
No.
Okay,
Okay, but all
over
she
at the
can think
hospital.
about.
Hmm?
Oh, sorry, I thought I was just gonna finish that sentence. But yeah, you wanna go? Go ahead.
I thought you had finished the sentence.
Yeah, sorry, I just wanted to see if it sounded better as Nao or now.
That's
But
all.
no, go ahead.
It's all good. Over at the hospital, Kosei can't help but be suspicious about what is going on with Kaori, wondering if she's lying about being tested. Ryota Ryota had been around earlier to bring Kaori some food and told her about Kosei's performance at the gala, which she can't help but laugh about because he was an accompanist doing a solo. It's like that doesn't work. Kosei explains why he performed, how at first someone offended her skills as a violinist, but halfway through it turned into something for his mum. Noting that it's the second time Kaori has called him by his name, his mind is still racing on the possibility that Kaori is lying. Back when Kosei and Tsubaki were kids, she forced them to run along the beach along with the other kids at junior baseball camp because she thought even piano players needed to strengthen their legs. Which is. She has a point there considering they have the pedals that they have to press as well at the underneath the piano. At school, kid Tsubaki wants to go to Audrey Park with Kosei, but he has piano lessons today. Tsubaki decides to make a shiny mud ball called a Dorodango ball Dorodango is a Japanese art form for making a mud ball by hand. And she's made this for Kosei. Just like the one she's made for herself. It's like she's got two shiny balls. She
Of
really
course
good.
she does.
Huh?
Well, nothing.
What did you say?
So of course she does.
Where? Really?
Yeah, you know, these animes, there's all sorts of traps you gotta look out for.
I knew you were going that route. It was either that or the chest area. She rarely got a chance to play with Kosei growing up, since he was busy with piano practice so often. Uh, Even being dragged out of class practice. And that led to Sabaki hating music when she was young. It's like, music dragged away a friend. So I hate music now. Logic. That's some real good logic right there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway, presently, Kaori and Kosei are arguing over Kosei's piano practice, with Kosei saying he's practicing both Charles Lewis Hanson, or Handon, and Carl Sherney? I think that's Sherney. It's like a CZ, so I do not know how to pronounce that. And Carey saying he should practice Frederick Chopin and Franz Liszt as well. Now catches a glimpse of Saito and Tsubaki hanging out, turning to Naruto for advice on how to deal with Tsubaki's unique situation. But it really comes down to Tsubaki herself, and it's like, what's the right choice? We do not know. Only Tsubaki knows. You want to take the next one?
Uh, sure, where were we?
Yeah.
There we go. Approached by a teacher to ask about which high school Kay would like to go to, he has no answer but is allowed to think on it. Meanwhile, Tsubaki is more interested in talking about Kay rather than hanging out with Saito. Seeing him hanging back, Saito refers to Kay as he's like her kid brother. But she freaks out and wonders what Kay is to her. A neighbor? A best friend? Who does she truly like?
Oh
While
no, we
stuck in
got
this
romance drama.
while stuck in this thought process, she's suddenly attacked by Kay, who's worried about her health. However, it turns out to be a prank by now, using it to show Sabaki how much Kay does care for her health. Tsubaki asks for a popsicle, and the two walk along the beach, enjoying their popsicles and hum the same tune for you, Suki no Hikari ga Furi sos ugu terasu. I love terasu. Or is that tiramisu I'm thinking of?
You're thinking of tiramisu.
Oh, either way, I love tiramisu.
But yeah, I made sure I
Kay,
actually, I listened to what they were humming, and, I did some research on trying to figure out the song, and that's the song that they were humming.
alright. Um, yeah, Kay has been practicing. Tsubaki has noted how much Kay has changed recently and how his eyes sparkle, especially when he plays the piano. Kay has made up his mind on going to a high school with a music course, and since none of them are in the area, he'll be leaving home for one. Out of nowhere, Tsubaki starts crying and runs away from Kay, upset that music will be taking him away from her because she loves him. Well, that's what you wanted, wasn't it?
Yeah, you got what you wanted, and now you're upset.
You can't have your cake and eat it too.
Unless, unless you're Kaori.
Yeah, that's your KR.
Because literally her parents make cake and she can have it. Like, it is the only unique situation where that saying doesn't apply.
Yeah. When Kid Tsubaki tries to present Kid K with the Dorondango balls, those are the cursed balls, right?
The dirt balls.
Yeah. Are they cursed or?
No, they're just dirt balls.
Okay. They discover that the balls have dried up and cracked apart, making her cry. And you're right.
Yeah.
Sound like a gunshot then. Making her cry and tell Kay to leave, but he stays and comforts her. The next day at school, Tsubaki thinks about what happened last night and overhears Kay asking to take the entrance exam for Okutsu College of Music affiliated high school.
That's a
While
mouthful.
practicing while practicing for the long jump, Tsubaki thinks about the Dora Dango ball incident, distracting her mind the jump part of long jump and crashing face first into the sand. Ryota and Kusai laugh at her bandaged face, and in response, she grabs a broom and almost hits them. But instead, all she can do is walk away, in frustration. After school, Tsubaki manages to make himself spin 360 a pull-up bar and takes the monkey bars two at a time. She and Saito walk in silence until Saito mentions he met a girl he likes and wants to break up with Tsubaki.
So at least in this situation, like, she's not being forced to be the one to break up. He's doing it. But he also sensed that she wasn't interested as much anymore.
Yeah.
So this actually ended in the best way possible for everyone.
Want me to keep going?
Yeah. I'm just trying to think. Also, I just love the fact that Tsubaki just face plants the sand. Just like, splat. Anyway, that night, she messes around with the piano when Kosei arrives to practice and tells her if she wants to talk about anything, he'll listen. Everyone else is moving forward with time, but Tsubaki is stuck. Wanting everything to stay as is, as it was at the start. But when Kosei tries to be nice, she gets angry at him for doing so, partially because he said the same thing back then as well. Without having to worry about breaking Sato's heart, she can now focus her attention on Kosei and wanting to be with him. It's like she is gonna get a chance to, I guess. At the next round of the piano competitions, Emi delivers the performance everyone loves and stands up to cheer for. Hiroka is intrigued by Emi's skills with the piano, and Yuriko says it's all because of Kosei. Meanwhile, Kosei goes to visit Kaori in the hospital, but sees a crow, which is a sign of a potential funeral in the future in Japan, and a black cat, which are considered bad luck if they cross your path. So, all the
Like
bad
breaking a
sides.
mirror, isn't it like 7 years bad luck?
Yes, that is another thing, yeah. Anyway, suddenly Kosei is set upon with bad luck, getting soaked with a water balloon, hit in the face by a piece of konjaku, which is a type of jelly made from the konjac jam, or yam, which was introduced to Japan from China in the 6th century as a medicinal product with no flavor, and also he steps in the bucket. Everything's just going wrong for him. When a girl lands, he takes her to Hiroko's house, who teases him for getting things to go. And the first thing she does when she comes to is introduce herself to Hiroko as Nagia Aizato, a first year in the music course at Hirumigaoka Junior High. Wasn't that the same school as Assassination Classroom?
Think so.
I I would have to check. Could you continue while I check?
Yeah. Nagi asks Hiroko to be her music teacher, but Hiroko will only do it if she can convince her with her playing. To convince Hiroko, Nagi decides to play Winter Wind Etude, the same one Kei played and stopped playing at the My How competition. Kei notices that she's playing the piece harshly, but Hiroko still decides to take her on as a student. She fake cries at her success using eye drops because her actual mission was to infiltrate to get close to Kei as a spy. However, Hiroko makes Kei teach her instead of doing it herself.
I think I have actually deleted the notes for Assassination Classroom. I might have it in my research page for it though. Can you continue?
Yeah, you want me to continue?
Yes, please.
Alright. The next day, Kei avoids any potential excuse to not see Kaori and brings her a treat to enjoy. At the very moment he's about to knock on the door, though, he hears Ryoto and Kaori talking and leaves, sharing the canaless he brought her with a black cat. When will these people learn? Kaori calls him out of nowhere to scream at him for never showing up to visit her and figures out he's eating something at the moment. He compares Kaori to a cat in terms of behavior, and that's why he adores her so much. In the hospital, Kaori is walking around, excited about getting Canaless in the future from Kei, but
Canales.
suddenly collapses, unable to use her legs from paralysis, left begging for them to work. I know. Yeah, I
She's like,
remember.
she's like, come on. But yeah, the word is canales. Anyway, episode 16. I still haven't found that particular thing that I was looking for. So, you might have to continue a bit more.
Alright. Alright, so that's the end of episode 15.
Yep.
We're now on episode 16. The night before the gala, Kaori was preparing for the gala, pretending to play the violin when she collapsed out of nowhere, smacking her head on the support railing. At Hiroko's house, Kei is still being forced to be Nagi's teacher and is brutal about her playing technique, telling her to make sure to have a distinction between fortissimo, playing loudly, and pianissimo, playing gently,
Mm-hmm.
and also to count the rest with other stuff too. When Kei puts his hands over the piano, Nagi goes to slam the lid on his hands to break them, but gets distracted by Hiroko mentioning she could change the way she steps on the pedal at measure 333. Nagi praises the score of the piece as good in a complete
As God.
shift of personality. Yeah, as God in a complete shift of personality, but it's all a dig at how Kei plays now. Unfazed, Kei explains the score isn't God and not impeccable. It's just an extremely emotional thing humans made, but is cut through when she fires back. What a cliche.
She's gonna be doing that a lot. So the school in the Assassination Classroom is not the same name as the one in this anime.
Okay.
I'm not bothering pronouncing it both of them though. Anyway, Kosei is thinking about visiting Kaori in the hospital, but she appears before him, finally out of the hospital. She pretends not to know Kosei because he rarely visited her in the hospital. Instead, she's waiting for Rota. Since Rota is busy doing something, most likely with his current girlfriend. because he's the worst. Kosei is once again the substitute, this time for a shopping trip. Complete with armloads of the shopping. You're gonna have the armloads of shopping. Like, the girl buying all the different clothes from all the different stores, so it's like 4 bags each arm. Or, if you're being more comical, like 10 bags per arm. But yeah, also Plushie's stationary, and even a lost kid. Seems like Kosei has a knack for finding lost kids. He notices that Kaori did come to school since she's in uniform, but she doesn't have her bag. Suspicious.
What happened to it, I wonder?
It's like the Among Us music. Meanwhile, with Nagi and Hiroko warns Nagi that if she ever tries to put Kosei in danger, she will kill her herself. It's like,
I will
oh,
destroy.
best character is Hiroko. Clearly, right? She doesn't care. The reason why Hiroko took Nagi as a student was for the purpose of giving Kosei something other than sorrow. Koharu shows Nagi a drawing of the 4 of them at the piano, with Nagi playing. Kosei sitting beside her, and Hiroko smoking. Considering how young Koharu is, the fact that she knows her mum's smoking is not a good sign. Making her way through the school, Kaori leads the way to their classroom, but her bag isn't there. Kaori is supposed to reveal that the hospital let her out just for today, but asks if he'll forget her. Kosei rides her back to the hospital on a school bicycle, while Kaori thanks her for the day she's had with him. It's like, excuse me, lady, you lied to me? Like, that is, like, serious manipulation. Anyway, back with the lessons for Nagi. Kosei continues being an absolutely boring savage to her for being too slow. She wants to beat him up for casually being amazing at the piece. At school, Nagi is putting together an assassination plan for Kosei. You can't... you can take the assassination out of the classroom, but you can't take the... I don't know where I was going with that.
You can't take the learning out of the assassination.
You can't take the assassination out of the anime. But yeah, she's like talking to her friends about how she turned down Kamiyama because he's the bookish 4 eyes type. It's like, I can see that. I can see that. She's so focused on destroying Kosei, she's ignoring the upcoming November festival, giving off the sense of being Tengu, which is like a bird spirit in Japan. This is for some reason it's the one thing I didn't research.
Why not?
I don't know. But yeah, it's basically just like a bird spirit. You want to take the next one?
No, I'm good. You take one more.
Okay. The next lesson, Kosei tells Nagi off for playing too fast this time, that it doesn't make it forte, or loud/strong, in that way. leading to her running away and Kosei chasing after her. He explains that it's like his first time teaching anyone, and offers her a Beniazuma sweet potato as a peace offering. Nagi caves to the sweet potato before realizing she did, and tells Kosei she used to play at her staircase hideaway with her hero Takeshi when she was younger, but now he's obsessed with someone else. So now she
Oh
has
man,
picked
you
up
must
the
be real
piano
sweet there.
for music. What was that?
I said, oh, that cough's not sounding too good. You alright?
Oh, okay, you got the next one then?
Yeah, I do. Like this. Clean my glasses. Hold on, there's a little spot on it. Oh, there we go. All right. After finishing the sweet potatoes, they play Glico, which is weighted rock, paper, scissors, where you have to reach for the top of a staircase. Kay also reveals to Nagi about someone he likes and how she's into someone else, but she asks if that's a good enough reason to give up, calling it a cliche. While he tells Nagi everything about the girl he likes, Kaori receives a diagnosis from the doctor, one that makes her bow and cry. Tears of
We
joy.
do not hear what this diagnosis is, though.
Prognosis. We will find it out. Find out what it is soon.
Actually, no, we never learn it. We
Sure,
never learn what she has.
but we know what it does.
Yes. And, like, we. People have actually done theories on what Kaori has. And it's like a very. I forget what it was. I did research it. Yeah. Anyway, continue on.
Anyways, upon visiting Kaori, she pelts him with books for forgetting to bring cannolis for them to have, while
Canales.
Ryota brings her sweet bean jellies. Now suddenly reveals that Kei has been teaching a first-year girl piano to everyone's shock. Tsubaki shakes now, wanting to know how she knew. Ryota demands to meet her, and Kaori just stares at Kei.
Right.
While Kei says to
So,
Ryota that he wouldn't understand the subtleties of girls. Tsubaki attacks Kei, followed by Kaori picking Kei in the face with a slipper.
like, Rota, this girl is, like, younger than you. What's your problem, man? It's like, oh, I want to meet this girl. It's like, she's a first year in high school. Meaning she's probably younger than you. At least wait. Unless I'm thinking of it wrong. I'm probably have it wrong in my head, actually. But still, Rota, you're in the wrong here for wanting to meet another girl. Like, such a sleazeball, isn't he?
Shall I continue?
Yeah.
Upon visiting Kaori, she pelts him with books for forgetting to
No,
bring
you've
cannolis.
already read
Oh
that
no,
one.
I read that last right. However, she's upset that his teaching is interfering with his practice time because others are practicing more for December competitions, almost slipping up and revealing more than she wanted to. Meanwhile, Nagi is proud of her lipstick on the sleeve trap she sent that led to all the violence against him. Her friends call out how Nagi's piano playing is skipping, asking if something nice has happened to her recently. In the midst of her plans to destroy Kay as a pianist, she makes references to the Phantom of the Opera. You ever see the Phantom of the Opera?
No, I have not seen it.
You have not.
I have not.
Well, I'll put that on the list. We'll probably have to watch it.
No, that's not an anime.
Yeah, I know it's not an anime,
Or just like
but
watch
I'm
in
saying
general.
it's like, yeah, watch in general.
Yeah. Anyway, that
Pretty
night,
good.
Carrie and Kosei are last two in the hospital room. Carrie noting how weird she's been acting recent. Oh, Kosei, I mean, noting how weird she's been acting recently. Oh, no. Carrie is noting how weird she's been acting, and Kosei has noticed the same behavior as Saki in Carrie, so it's like. It's almost like Kosei knows what's gonna happen. To end the episode, Carrie references quotes from the real book of Ichigo Dome by Masahiro Mita, which shares similar themes. Cool. Can't anime your line April.
Yeah.
And just like that, we're already at episode 17. We're almost halfway already.
Think it's a good place to stop.
No,
No.
no, dude, you can't do this to me.
Oh, well, I gotta stop at 4. I got stuff to do, so we better hurry and get through this.
Well, even if we get through like 17 and 18 before 4, I can just do the last 4 by myself.
You sure?
Yeah, because I want to get through this anime.
Alright. Well, then let's go.
Anyway,
After quoting.
yeah,
Oh,
episode
you going
17.
or me?
You
Yeah, episode
can go if
17
you
is.
want.
After quoting Ichigo do my, Kaori says she was joking, explaining something that we don't get to hear, Robitussin. The next day, Tsubaki sees Kei lying face down on his desk, and to try cheering him up, she suggests they go visit Kaori. But Kei declines, knowing he'll get another slipper in the face,
Or
because
something
those
else.
people are just abusers, they're so mean. She wonders what's up with Kei while shooting some hoops during break, with now revealing that Tsubaki has decided to go to a higher ranked school near Okutsu Music College affiliated high. When Kei said he didn't want to see Kaori, Tsubaki felt both relieved and full of guilt.
Meanwhile, Kosei gets smacked over the head by Hiroko with one of her shoes for being distracted by
See,
other
it's always the
things.
shoes.
It's all the shoes for him.
They're all hit.
And calling it a day and sending him home. Now seeing the name of the hospital Carrie is staying in scares Kosei, even on signs. Nagi catches up to him and turns his teaching method on him to tell Kosei he walks too slow and with a bad posture. It's like,
Was that his back cracking from the bad posture?
most likely. At a park.
At the park,
Oh,
oh,
you
you
go.
please, after
You
you.
go.
At the park, Nagi tells him about how guys want to duet with her piano playing for the upcoming school festival she has, but she only wants to do it with a good-looking guy. Reflecting on how she sees Kay as her enemy, it's all because she can't help her brother directly because he obsesses on being perfect like Kay. Kay explains how playing for someone else is more important than you would think, stating that that's how music might transcend words. Speaking of the word Ravel, Kay freaks out, saying he doesn't want to hear it as Ravel is the French composer Maurice Ravel and wishes he couldn't stop hearing it altogether.
During another day of school, Kosei is ambushed by Rota, telling him to come to the hospital with everyone else. Bothered with why Kosei doesn't want to visit Kaori, Rota spins him around to find out he's crying because Kaori reveals she doesn't have long. Rota reveals that he knew that Kaori didn't like him on some level because she always turned to Kosei for something. And Kosei finally gives in to Rota's demands of him going to see Kaori, bringing along some cannolis for them to share. When all of when all his answers to her questions are boring, Kaori gets mad, firing off that he doesn't want to see her at the moment. She just wants things to go back to how they were before, saying there's no point in remembering her anyways, since she can't even hold her own bow. In outrage, Kosei eats all the cannolis he brought for them to share and storms out on her, causing her to
Severe.
laugh at his reaction. She's like, it's like Cookie Monster.
Trying to think of anything he could do, Kay asks Nagi if he can perform at her school festival, and she agrees to let him do, since she was struggling to come up with a program. Nagi asks why Kay wants to perform at her festival, but there's no time to explain, only time to practice, with the two of them going over how they're going to play the piece they've chosen for the festival. She even skipped dinner with her family to practice and apologized for misplaying notes, Robitussin. And there's massive pressure on her to perform a perfect performance.
Yeah, having a breakdown at Hiroko's house. Hiroko thinks she's a failure as an instructor, once again. About to see the same thing happen to Nagi. Nagi is just afraid though, like most other musicians before her. Explaining that even Takeshi gets scared before performances and after the performance. That's when you're rewarded for all the months of struggles. Then Hiroko grabs her by the head for monopolizing the bathroom, telling Kaharu to grab Nagi's legs before switching back to teacher mode, willing to kill anyone that calls her a coward or mentally unprepared, and to play because she's Kosei's apprentice.
After visiting Kaori at the hospital, Kei asks Ryota to do something for him at Nagi's festival. At the festival, Ryota is acting like a creep, like the creep he is, jumping around at the sight of younger girls. But the music hall is the place to be, with musical pieces performed by kids in animal costumes and a Namahaj performer that gets big laughs as well. Nagi is still freaking out over her upcoming performance and hates to see that Kay is so calm. Kay takes Nagi's hand to calm her down, but not before he gets attacked for doing so by her, and that's when she notices his shaking hands. He even quotes Kaori telling Nagi to play with sincerity and give the performance of her life with everything she has. Meanwhile, Kaori gets to watch from her phone, thanks to Ryota videoing the performance for her.
And now we're into episode 18. In a flashback to when Kosei was asked why he wanted to perform at Nagi's festival, he reveals that he has a friend that feels terrible and wants to perform to knock some sense into her. Taking the stage together, people are surprised to see that Kosei is performing with Nagi, especially since she's related to Takeshi, who is his biggest rival. It's like, as the two duo pieces of Past the Action and Sleeping Beauty waltz starts, Rota calls Carrie on his phone so that she can hear, and everyone is amazed by how good Nagi has gone at the piano in such a short amount of time. However, Kosei changes the sound of the piece to everyone's shock, including Nagi, who is right there and having to change with him. And so Nagi steps up to the challenge, keeping up with him, making her look even better for doing so. She notes just how different Kosei is from how her brother described him, not a robot, and that every time with him felt nostalgic.
Meanwhile, a member of the audience has noticed how amazing Kay actually is. Playing the bass line to goad Nagi to do better while also backing her up. She has been practicing the piano in order to get her brother's attention, and in this process of preparation of the festival, she has come to understand how her brother feels when he practices. One particular note catches Takashi's attention deeper into the performance, while Kaori is standing and pretending to play a violin.
Takeshi can only think about why he's not up there performing instead of enjoying his sister's performance. And why Emmy and...
Why?
Hmm?
Why?
Yeah, why Emmy and Nagi's playing moves people. The performance suddenly ends for Nagi, and everyone stands and cheers for her. One person even shouting, "Marry me!" in and like in the like this is my thinking right here. Nagi once again references fan of the opera, comparing herself to Christine Day, which is the main character, isn't it? Like the
I
main
think so.
female character.
Yeah. Backstage, her classmates cheer Nagi's duet with Kei with her friends Satsuki and Kamugi hugging her while crying. Hiroko also comes backstage, calling Kei an ultra sadist and reveals why she had Kei teach Nagi instead of doing it herself. It all being a lesson to show how he can help others grow with his music. Last to show up is Takashi, who is angry over Kei holding his sister Nagi's hand, allowing her to get one last laugh at him, with Hiroko and Koharu joining in. Nagi steps in to defend Kei from her brother with a very poor choice of words. Oh yeah, I remember those.
Yeah, it made it sound like they were more than teacher and student.
Yeah. Before leaving, Takashi says that the Eastern Japan piano competition will begin in December, and he'll beat him then, leaving Nagi to wonder if her feelings got through to him.
Yeah, it's just like he's so obsessed with this competition with a guy that doesn't even really care that much. Like he's cared more than ever about the competition, but not because of him. It's like the obsession is completely one-sided. Anyway, after the festival is done, Toshiya approaches Nagi to ask why she played a duet with Kosei, asking if she has his contact or email address, and she says she does in a teasing way. At the hospital, Carrie plays Twinkle Twinkle Star on her mandolika, but messes up a note. When Carrie arrives to see her, she calls him a jerk for making a violinist who can't play listen to that wonderful piece and makes her miss the violin. Like the two kids, they're there, like also upset with him.
Yeah. War on plus quick turn plus attack equals powerful combo when being chased.
Little kid punching
But
him in the nuts.
sorry, I was reading something else. Anyways, taking the chance to fire back with references to Ichigo Dumai, Kei says it wouldn't be double seppuku, it would be him following her to death, and to give him one last chance, asking for one last performance with her, but not to play a piece by Ravel. Seeing the two hospital kids hit Kei for bullying her, Kiari decides to put in one last performance and cry laughs at the current situation.
It's just like, no. Like she's not happy that she's gonna be doing it, but she's gonna do it.
She's gonna push it to the limit. Past the point of no return.
Anyway, episode 19. Talking with the doctor, Carrie has come to the decision to have surgery for her condition. At the same time, she helps Kosei practice for his next performance together with her. Although it's mainly Carrie telling Kosei his music sounds off, and the whole Nagi teaching period is like, what's wrong with that? And Tsubaki's class gets their results for the mock exam, and she shocks everyone by getting a B on the exam and gloating. Why let me take it down by now? It's just like, I think now just says like, that's love or something. It's just like a one word, like 1 or 2 word response that just takes Tsubaki down. Kosei goes to visit Kaori at the hospital, but she's not there. So he leaves and gets ambushed by Kaori's parents to take him to where she's learning to walk again. And it's all thanks to Kosei, the boy she met in April, the one who shone like a star on stage, and the promise she made. Meanwhile, Tsubaki is worried about Kosei experiencing burnout in time for the entrance exam, but now explains that the competition is his entrance exam. Now then gives Tsubaki the idea to give him a late night snack for all this late night practice he's been doing.
She brings him some onigiri to eat, and she finds him sleeping face first on the floor and decides he needs a haircut there and now. When mentioning Kaori, Tsubaki is only able to associate her with her own jealousy of music, but snaps out of it when he sees her onigiri is missing.
Onigiri.
Onigiri.
He stole her onigiri.
Onisa, bitch.
Anyway, Kaori rolls into rehab of the hospital, saying that Kosei won't be showing up due to his exam piece, which is the first round of the competition. Kosei is enjoying an egg salad sandwich when Emi comes out of nowhere and joins him to have a piece. Followed by Takeshi taking the last piece, and all three are just sitting there, just eating. And they're actually talking like they're good friends for like the first time ever. Takeshi is the first of the three to perform, taking the stage to play and thinking about his past, how he didn't like to be bored. His piece, Chopin's Etude Up 10 number 12, also known as the Revolutionary Etude, noting how he's no different than when he was a kid. Remembering seeing Kosei's return after 2 years, he finally realizes that Kosei was the one that expanded his world. Everyone that knows Takeshi senses he's finally putting his emotion into the music and wants him to do well. Finishing the piece, everyone cheers for the brilliant performance and leaves. Now you conflict on who to cheer for between her brother and Kosei. It's like, do I cheer for my teacher or my brother?
Why would you cheer for your teacher in that situation? You know what I mean?
What? I guess so, yeah.
Unless the teacher is some hot piece of ass. I don't know why you wouldn't be cheering for your own brother.
Don't pull a rota. Ryota. You want to take the next one? The next paragraph?
Yeah.
The last one of episode 19.
Yeah, here we go. Returning backstage with a role, Kay picks him up and compliments him on creating an amazing atmosphere all by himself, and Emmy tells him he should have played the top and piece sound. When he turns on Kay to say that he better not mess up this time, Kay and Emmy tell him to turn down the bravado due to the shaky second piece.
I love how, like, in that moment of, like, he's done the first piece and he's sitting there like, I have a second piece, guys. I still have to perform the second piece. It's hilarious. Okay, episode number 20. One time, kid Tsubaki caught a cold, and her classmates commented on the weird sneeze. But she's more upset by them calling her a gorilla. What? Kid Kosei is the only one to treat her like an actual kid, using a vending machine to buy her lemonade for vitamin C. In response, she chugs the entire can and screams she's better now. It's like I'm good now. Presently, the school is abuzz with conversations of joy about completing entrance exams, and Tsubaki is excited to have gotten a B, but everyone knows it's because she's in love. She skips over to the music room to brag to Kosei about her B grade, but oddly, he's not there. Kosei is currently at the hospital, being dragged in by Rota as a third wheel, but the moment Kaori sees him, she tells him to go and practice, even though she told him to stop by. It's like, man, why are you being contradictory right now? It's just wild. He's left thinking about Kaori and everything he is to Kaori, apart from being Rota. When he was younger, he showed Kid Tsubaki the black cat he found and was taken care of at a temple shrine. Tsubaki knows that Saki would be upset, but he'll do what he can to keep this homeless cat. Cut to the days Saki took Chelsea away, and Kosei runs around everywhere in the rain, looking for her with Tsubaki, fighting and giving him a lemonade, and saying that he does have a soul. Sorry. You there, Bailey?
Yeah, I'm here. Want me to
Take the next
continue?
paragraph?
Yeah. Another day of going to see Kaori per her orders for Kei, but seeing Ryota makes Kei use the excuse of it going to rain to go home. As the rain pours down, the two are forced to seek shelter under an awning and have lemonades together, and Tsubaki wishes it snowed instead. Under the shelter, Tsubaki says she knows that Kei didn't want to see Kaori because Ryota was seeing her too, calling out that he likes Kaori and he doesn't deny it. Since he confirmed her exclamation, she starts yelling at him for doing so, because Kaori likes Ryota, followed by stating that
She's his only
that
choice.
she's his only choice, and kicking him in the shin before running off.
It's like,
It's like, I love you, Barker. Kicks in the nutsack. When are we going on a date?
but again, it's like the whole thing of like, she doesn't want to hurt, like, she doesn't want to damage his hands. Where can she hit? She can't really go for the head because if she does, that could end badly. So kick him in the leg. The next day, Kosei runs into Tsubaki, but instead of acting normal, she runs off, leaving Now to chase after her. After some bad practice with Now, Tsubaki is targeting the music room, insisting on doing it despite having a cold. When Now asks if something happened between Tsubaki and Kosei, Tsubaki accidentally throws the bat in Nao's direction, making her have to dive for cover. It's like the first time we've actually seen some sort of reaction from Now. Like, Now is Now is like the most calm character.
Mm.
And then this moment happens. It's like, oh, she can't really be the most calm person all
No,
the
she
time.
can't.
Now knows something happened because Tsubaki's targeting the music room. It's like, yeah, it's obvious.
Rob
Sorry.
doesn't.
You want to take the next one?
Where is he? Yeah. Meanwhile, at Hiroko's house, Kei is baffled by the girl's brain, thanks to what Tsubaki said, and did only to be attacked by Hiroko for not focusing. Hiroko reminds Kei that he's up against top pianists and that this competition
Pianist.
determines penises, and that
Hey,
what
hey,
pianists?
rewind and say the word correct.
Yeah, pianist and
Pianist.
pianist, potato, and that this competition determines if he's getting into the high school or leaving the country. Kaori calls him that night to say he doesn't have to visit her anymore, with the finals coming up for the competition, which pisses him off.
Thinking about everything Carrie could be annoying at him for, because he doesn't notice the black cat that joins him on his walk home.
I
Carrie
think it's
suddenly
Snowman.
calls him again to tell him about about a plane in the sky on the night flight, and Carrie sees the plane too, and he laughs about how that's all she was calling about. Kosei says he'll go see her again despite the tight time frame to prepare for the competition because he wants to see her. So the next day, Kosei joins Rota in seeing Kaori, listening to Rota talk about having to start at the bottom of the soccer pile again, revealing that he likes Kaori. So like, Kosei finally admits to it to him. Arriving on the floor of Kaori's room, they see nurses suddenly rushing into her room, and Kaori's body going limp. As a punctuation on the entire situation, Kosei finds the black cat injured on the road and runs it to the nearest vet clinic, but the cat ends up dying. We know where that's going then, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah. Oh, well, that's it for me. You got the rest of the episodes covered.
You don't want to just finish off the last day?
How many more are there?
2.
Oh, yeah, I should have time for the next two. So we're in episode 21 now.
Yes.
Ryota tells Tsubaki and now about the situation with Kaori that she's in the ICU on life support. At Kei's house, Hiroko tries ringing his phone from outside the front door on request of Tsubaki to help him, but he doesn't answer. Luckily, the front door is unlocked for Hiroko to change and finds Kei sitting on the floor, trying to drag him to the piano. Kei is just limp from misery and just wants to give up, regretting falling in love with Kaori.
With
With
Kosei.
Kei,
Oh,
oh,
with.
so you want to go?
I was gonna go, yeah.
Yeah.
With Kosei in his biggest slump of 2 years, Noto visits Kaori alone, and now he sits at the piano alone at Hiroko's house. Emi and Takeshi are hard at their practice for the competition, while Kosei's piano is untouched. The next day, Kosei finds a letter from Kaori delivered by Ruta. However, it just says, I want canales. Kaori is awake again, apologizing for being in the ICU, calling it an awkward moment and explains that's why she wanted him to not come. Seeing Kaori with canales, she wants to eat outside despite being cold, and Kosei piggybacks her up to the roof.
Um, yeah, that's Kaori. Kaori asks if Kei is playing the piano, and when he answers he's not, she knows he isn't. He can't take playing anymore because music keeps taking the people he cares about away. She says he still has her, revealing she's going to have surgery to treat her condition on the day of the finals. Still saying it's his fault for her desire to live. Oh, it's all his fault, is it? Oh,
Wow!
you people have nothing to blame for. No, no, you two, everyone's all innocent here. However, Kei hasn't practiced in the last week, and Kaori tells him he's looking down, standing and pretending to play the violin to show him a miracle. Kei turns around at the sound of the violin, his mind filling the empty space in Kaori's hands with her violin. Kaori states everything she knows about Kei and is jealous of Tsubaki for knowing everything about him.
With the Eastern Japan piano competition about to begin, Kaori is also beginning her surgery. Quoting Marcy's, we all need someone to kiss us goodbye from Peanuts. Takeshi and Emi perform their pieces, but everyone, even Nagi, thinks Emi was more amazing than Takeshi. Two members of the audience talk about how amazing Takeshi and Emi were, wondering who's going to win, but Toshiya in the skies says the greatest pianist has yet to play.
Going backstage, Emi finds Takashi checking in on Kei, thinking that he's just preparing mentally until she hears him repeating, "Gotta play." Getting up, Emi and Takashi see that Kei is extremely pale and want him to go to the infirmary, but he says he has to play. Instead of playing, Kei just sits at the piano, head in his hands until he hears Tsubaki sneeze, realizing everyone is watching. Kei starts playing Chopping Ballad number 1 in G minor, op 23 beyond, Hez and heavy but deep and unhurried.
In his mind, Kosei thinks about all the conversations that have led to his performance, answering everything with earnestness, letting his thoughts on Kaori, producing the imagery of the cherry blossom tree with his music. Sorry.
Yeah, that's
Episode 21.
yeah.
We got one
Yeah.
last episode. And I'm ready to cry right now. Jeez.
Tears of joy.
No, what?
What? As Kay plays Chopin Ballad, he reflects on everyone that has brought him back to the stage, everything of the previous episodes. His thoughts land on Kaori, the ups and the downs, and how they have supported each other, hoping his music reaches Kaori. He sees an open sky and hears Kaori whisper, "Thank you." Surprised to see her appear before him with a violin, and she plays alongside him, adding her own flair to it. Sky turns to sunset, then to night as her being begins to disappear once again, bursting in a beam of light from inside her, and all Kay can do is watch and play, finishing up the piece in tears.
In winter, Kaori's parents give Kosei a letter from Kaori. Sorry. But it's until spring rolls around and see a black cat day reads the letter. It reveals everything she hid from Kosei. Sorry.
That's alright, take your time.
Starting from Kosei's first ever performance. She was the kid that was sitting next to that when she started crying. She wanted to quit piano and learn the violin so Kosei could play for her not long after. Turns out she wore glasses, but more importantly, she didn't know how to approach Kosei. She could only watch because of Kosei's friends. After her first collapse in 7th grade, she was in and out of hospital regularly, rarely unable to go to school. Seeing her parents crying, she decided to check herself out and just go for it, doing whatever she wanted. And switching to lenses, all leading to her lie in April.
Where the title comes from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you take the rest?
Meanwhile, Ryota is finally slapped, caught out for cheating, and now he has no girls. He's currently dating. He's got no one, zilch, nada. Kaori has asked Kei to apologize to Ryota for lying to him and to Tsubaki for leaving an awkward mess behind. Tsubaki tries to get Nao to check up on Kei for her, but Nao tells her to do it herself. She can't bring herself to go through with how fresh he lost Kaori, getting tongue tied, and now tells her to just be there and be herself. The rest of the letter is mostly about what she thought of them when she met him properly for the first time, with another dig at the accidental perv shot and how things were to her.
At Hiroko's house, while Kosei plays the piano, Hiroko notices. Sorry. Can you take it? Bailey?
Sorry?
Can you take it?
Yeah. At Roko's house, while Kei plays the piano, Roko notices he has grown up and is more sensual. Koharu thinks he's cool, and Nagi seems to have a crush on Kei with her rather choice words. Kei and Kaori share one last conversation in his mind, how she barged right into his heart without taking off her shoes, and her telling him not to hit the reset button. She apologizes for what she did to him, ending the letter with the cliche line of "I love you," and leaving him a photo. He's suddenly approached by Tsubaki, who kicks him square in the shin and says he won't be alone because she'll always be around. The photo is of when Kaori was a kid with her friends and with Kei in the background, which he decides to get framed.
Oh, I'm sorry for crying. I figured this would happen to me.
And that is the last episode, I believe.
Apparently, Bailey and I have different opinions on the ending of this anime. Bailey
Yeah?
glad, Bailey's glad that Kaori died. Is that what you are?
Oh, not glad. I'm saying like all the shit that she put her through, and then she just puts that letter, "I love you." It's like, bro, you can't just like constantly like slap him around. That's an abusive relationship right there.
Yeah.
Unless it's like they're doing stuff in the bedroom. I get that. Some people are into that, but no, that's just like she verbally abuses him at times, and she like manipulates him at times, and so it's just okay. Yeah, I'm not having it. Like okay, if you like that, good for you.
I can see that, but you have to admit.
Especially with the friends like Tsubaki.
Hmm?
Tsubaki, they bully him. Tsubaki bullies him too.
You have to admit though, the final music piece was amazing,
Yeah,
wasn't
it's,
it?
it's great. I won't
Yeah.
lie.
Like goes down the top 10 of list of amazing scenes, right?
Yeah.
I feel like it's my number 2 scene, that whole song, and my number 1 has to go to No Game No Life.
Of course, I should have figured you'd say that.
Huh?
Of course, I should have figured you'd say that.
Hey, No Game No Life has, it's like a perfect presentation of their intelligence in one game. Like the game is most of the episode, but it's like right out of the gate in that he's like, yeah, I've already won without having to say it. What did you think of the anime though, Bailey?
Yeah, it was alright.
Really?
Yeah, it's fine. I did enjoy the music.
Yeah. I feel like this is an anime you can almost just watch with just the music and you can understand the story. I want to see an edit where it's just like all the stuff is muted except for the music.
Yeah, I'm sure you can listen to like the music online.
No, like the whole episode, like whole episodes, and then it's like the music, like the music pieces, and that's it.
I'm sure they have those.
Anyways, with my crying face fully on camera, we get end this here. Uh, Next on the list is A Silent Voice, which is probably going to be something else I cry at because that's also a good, like, it's a really good movie. But I will not be doing it with Bailey. This is the last one for Bailey for now, at least.
Yeah. So because I got a new job, so I'm gonna.
Yeah, he's got to focus up on that. I do want to try and find someone else to sort of do the podcast with. But as of today, for the last time for now, for YouTube, links will be in the description to both of my channels and also both of Bailey's channels for you to check out. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know next video comes out. A ding, 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 a ding.
Dong dong, dong dong.
I'm Psycrafter out.